Well, hello. This is Scott. I'm cruising down the highway here in my 1972 Dodge chassis StarCraft StarCruiser. As a Dodge chassis, it's got an M375 with a 317, or I'm sorry, with a 413 413 Dodge powered motor. 727 transmission, that's 3 speeds. But don't let those 3 speeds fool you. I'm doing 65-ish here on the highway. I'm making this video as a proof that, I'm doing fine, right? We're going down the road. I'm doing a little bit of counter steering with the headwinds we have today, or I don't know if they're headwinds. They're out of the west, and I'm going south. So they're pushing me, but that's to be expected when you've got a brick going down the highway. So let's talk about some gauges here and some of the other important information. We cross over this beautiful countryside here. Farmland, Ohio. You gotta love Central Ohio. One thing about these older RVs, they put in a lot of window space. A lot of window space. That's one of the reasons that my wife and I both fell in love with this thing. It is. I mean, it's window space for days. You'd think that I'm literally filming it right now. This is widescreen. You'd think I'd be filming this outside, right? But I'm not. I'm cruising down the road at 65 mile an hour. I got my turn here. I'm getting off the highway. I was on the highway for a short burst. And now it's back on the country roads where I'm going to be tossed around. Why am I going to be tossed around? Because this thing's got leaf springs in the front. It's got leaf springs in the back. It's not the car of today. It's not the car of yesterday. It's the car of, or it is a almost farm truck of 1972, right? But, it still has power steering. That's a question I get a lot, So, I just made that turn with just, my fingers here. But going around country roads, you're going to get bounced around a lot. So you're going to do a lot of counter steering. We're going to look at our gauges here real fast. Let's look down here. All right. So you can see here, transmission. That's a transmission. It's 155, right where it should be for a 727. All right, let's look down here. Looks like we are sitting at 180, which is exactly what my thermostat is that I put in a couple, actually last year. It's high flow, skirted, racing thermostat. You can get those at Jigs, Gigs, whatever. My wife always makes fun of me the way I say it. Another gauge that's really important, especially when you got an older motor, you can tell a lot about an older motor by the vacuum gauge, right? So the first trip of the year, this is our big first trip that we made. We went from Lake Erie from Central Ohio to Lake Erie, which is about a 110-mile trip, 2-hour drive. But one thing you can definitely do with older motors is use a vacuum gauge, and a vacuum gauge will tell you a lot. There's whole charts like if the needle's bouncing, if the needle's not at a certain vacuum or hog, I think is what they go by. There's a lot of things you can tell. I encourage anyone with an older motor or vehicle to get a vacuum gauge. But here's my vacuum gauge. I'm going to show you right here. Okay. It is smooth at 19, right? I'm going to go ahead and get on this country road, giving it some gas. And you can see it drops down. That's just like it's supposed to, right? Once the secondaries kick in, it drops down to like 0 or whatever when you really get on it. But, it's an older vehicle. You don't get on it. You just take your time. I think I filled this up for the price, the price of gas right now. It's quite expensive, so I'm just taking it easy. But you can see that I filled it up when we got up there. It's about halfway, and we're about halfway home. We're getting about 7.5, 8 miles to the gallon. That's what you're going to expect consistently out of this vehicle. I've done a lot of work to it, a lot of work. You can see that in the comments section of my post on travel lights. But this is a proof of, hey, it drives, it's fine. It does have an exhaust manifold leak on the driver's side. I'll be honest, it's a bear to do, and I just haven't looked forward to doing it, and I haven't done it yet. But you know, any backyard mechanic can definitely do it. So don't let that beat you up if that intimidates you. Let's see here. Radio works, lights work. We've updated our marker lights to LED. We have halogen. I think they're halogen. They're the nicer round 6-inch headlights and high beams. I've updated those. It has a Dodge motor, but it's got a GM AGI distributor cap on it. I've updated the ignition system. I got that off of Amazon, and when I did that, I also put a better spark plugs and better, you know, the whole tune-up, right? You do it all. You do your plugs, wires, all of that. I got the timing synced in. It gets up and goes, but it's not burning a whole lot of fuel. I got the racing AGI, so it actually, you can adjust the curve. I've got it set. I believe the spring package I have in it right now. Railroad tracks. Yeah, it's loud, and it tosses you around a little bit. I got the springs for the advancement. I got those. I think they're full in at 2,000 RPM. I got it at the lowest setting. That means it's full advance when it's lower RPM, which this motor is geared for low RPM, high torque. So you know, that's what you're going to expect with this vehicle. But yeah, hey, you know what? We're in the countryside. We're at seven minutes into this video. You know, you've seen me stop. I'm stopping with all 4 drum brakes on the M375 chassis. The M400 is where they went to disc brakes. I would have loved to have gotten those, but yeah, that didn't happen. Take it back off. There's no hesitation. Second gear, bada bing, bada boom. We're going. You know, we're just taking our time. I'm not floored, but I got her in it. You know, we're getting up to speed. 45 mile an hour, right? You know, we're getting there. All right, bam, we just hit 30, or actually I should slow down, it's 35 here. We just hit 3rd gear, and we're just gonna max it out there. We're just gonna let her ride. So, hey, if you're interested in buying this this old beauty, give me a ring. I'm on Facebook, you know, so I'm on here all the time. Go ahead and private message me. We're asking 10 grand. I think it's reasonable. If you saw the list of things that we've done to this fully functioning RV, you'd be happy to pay that. I got receipts out the wazoo. I need to go through them, but I'm not looking to get what I have into it. I'm looking to get a reasonable price for it. I definitely have way more in it, in parts alone, not even my time. But you know, it's on to the next project. So yeah, if there's any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. I'll be as honest, you know, as one can be. But you're gonna get an honest opinion. You're gonna be, you know, shoot straight here for you. But yeah, get a hold of me.